I am, guys, for the first 35 years of my life or so, I was incredibly prejudiced towards a lot of people. I did not have empathy for other human beings that were not just like me. It was taught to me. I was brought up around it. I feel terrible about it, and I've been doing everything I can since I really truly became aware of how awful I was to turn it around and be a better human being. So I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys understanding.
In case you're new here, I want to make it very clear where my husband and I stand in all of the chaos that is happening here in the United States. And I'm going to say it one more time. We stand with marginalized people. We stand with Black people, Hispanic people, trans people, gay people, Muslim people, anyone who is being villainized in this very moment that you can think of. We stand for them. And I am tired as a white woman not seeing enough white people calling out the bullshit that is happening right now. If you've got Black friends, Hispanic friends, trans friends, gay friends, and you are being quiet and you are not calling out other white people when they start saying racist, transphobic, Islamophobic, any kind of horrible remarks, you are equally a part of the problem. We do not need to let other people be comfortable in their hatred anymore. It is our job as any progressive white person to stand up and call out bullshit when we hear it and to make these people feel uncomfortable enough to go back into hiding or to second guess the things that they are supporting, doing, and saying. And no, we do not have to be close to these people, stay friends with these people, have relationships with these people if they are continuously saying things that hurt marginalized people. I have seen too many white people, the minute their Black friends aren't around, feel comfortable enough to sit there and listen to some bullshit that their friend might have to say that is racist and not stand up for their Black friend. And then you wonder why Black people don't want to fuck with us anymore. I am no longer going to not say anything to these people and be quiet. There is nothing okay with what is happening right now. And so if you are new to my page and you have started following us, I just want to let you know right here, right now, one more time, because I said it a few weeks ago, that this is where I stand. And if you come on this page and you spew any hate or any bull crap and you start talking about these other people, these marginalized groups, and you have no facts that even back up what you are saying other than Fox News, I will block you. That is it.
Hi, amazing people. Hope you're doing fine. Welcome back to this beautiful channel. Thank you so much for clicking to today's episode. If it's your first time coming across my videos, I am Milka. So today we shall be talking about a very interesting topic whereby are white people really ready to take accountability of all their actions? Like, not only accountability over their actions, but also are they ready to be accountable even of maybe their colleagues at work, or even maybe like ready to call out injustice once they are in a position whereby injustice is being practiced, or whereby they are in a position someone is maybe being racist or is discriminating the other party, and you feel like they're not supposed to be doing that. Like, are they ready? Sometimes when you talk about accountability, you have to lose your comfort. You have to get out of your comfort zone. Like, you have to be ready to learn, to unlearn new things. You have to be ready to take in positive changes and leave the negative part of it. You have to be accountable of all the things that you do. Like, have you ever done something and you have oppressed someone, or you have made someone to feel discomfort, and are you really ready to be sorry about it, or are you really ready to apologize when you hurt someone, or when you are in a position whereby you have done something and it has oppressed the other party, or it has made the other person to feel less of a person? Like, this is what we this is what it really means when you talk about being accountable of all your things, that being accountable of all the steps, of all the actions that you do. So I've come across some clips whereby white people are calling their fellow whites to end, like to be ready to be accountable of everything that they do, to be ready to apologize once they take a mistake, and even to call out a person once they are in a space whereby a person is doing something that is suppressing the other party. So I would really like us to watch these videos. You get to hear, like, at what point are they calling their fellow whites and telling them that it's the high time that they change, it's the high time that they leave the racism part behind, it's the high time that they stop oppressing other people in order to be at their comfort zone, or in order to, like, gain something. And when you follow up, you find out that they are oppressing the other person in order to stay at their comfort zone which they are in. So I would really like to know, if you're a white person, like, are you supporting this thing of being accountable of your actions, of taking accountability of all the steps that you do? I would really like to know. Like, you are free to express your thoughts in the comment section. It will really be my pleasure reading your thoughts about all these issues. So I'll let us watch these clips, and then I'll come back with my commentary. And kindly like to urge you, if you have not supported my channel by just subscribing, you can just subscribe to my channel. So that was the clips, and I'll come back with my commentary.
It's time to bring back social consequences. Imagine if every single man that sexually assaulted or harassed a woman was immediately cut off from his friends. Imagine if we lived in a world where men were like, holy shit, I can't be friends with someone like this because I don't want to enable this type of evil behavior. Think of how much faster we would achieve gender equality and legal protection, instead of spending so much time trying to convince men to have empathy for us. Those social consequences are incredibly important because human beings are inherently social creatures. So if people come together to oust the person who is a predator, to call out the person who is being creepy to women, we would bring those closeted sexists to light. It's the same thing with my content about racism. All of those people who are in the middle and they're friends with racists and they're sort of tolerate racists, if they were to call them out and issue them an ultimatum and say, hey, what you're doing is fucked up, I am not going to be in your life anymore, to stand together as the white moderate would literally create such a massive impact. Because guess what? If you're friends with a rapist, you are one by association. If you have extended connections to racist family members and you are not actively trying to educate them while doing so, you are racist too.
Okay, white people, let's talk about it again. Let's keep talking about white supremacy and accountability. The reason why I want to have conversations with white people about white supremacy is not because I want people to carry this massive load of white guilt, or because I think every single white person alive is racist. I don't think that. I want to have these conversations because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And I truly believe that it's our responsibility as white people who hold the privilege to dismantle the systems that we benefit from that harm others. So I made a video the other day talking about taking accountability as white people for our own history of violence and confronting ourselves and confronting the systems that we built that exist in this country today that have vastly different health outcomes and behavioral outcomes for different people. And pretty predictably, a lot of the responses that I got from white people were avoidant, dismissive, in denial, and pretty much unwilling to confront the reality of how our country operates and how that impacts people who are not white, straight people. I had a lot of people saying, well, I didn't build it, and I treat everybody the way that I would want to be treated, so it's not on me, and why do all of us white people have to be ashamed of being white, and color doesn't matter, and you are
furthering a divide between races or just between different demographics of people that shouldn't exist by talking about this. And something that I learned actually from volunteering in prisons with incarcerated men and women is the concept of radical accountability. So accountability, I think is pretty obvious. Most people think accountability is taking responsibility for your own actions and how they impact other people, and acknowledging any wrongdoing that you've done and committing not to repeat those actions. But what I have observed and learned from the incarcerated men that I've volunteered with that are very, very committed to their paths of bettering themselves and contributing positively to the world is that radical accountability goes beyond just the individual and their own actions. It extends out to how they interact with their communities, what they want to offer their communities, and what they really want to contribute to the world that they want to help build. So the response that I heard about, well, it isn't me, when you shift your perspective, radical accountability is about looking at your surroundings, looking at your environment, looking at the community around you, and considering it partially your responsibility to uplift that community. Do I think one person can change the entire world completely on their own? No, but I think if a lot of us embraced the idea of radical accountability and looked out into our communities and decided to take on the perspective that our communities are our responsibility and the health and happiness and stability of our communities is our responsibility, then I think our world would look a lot different than it does. So in speaking with white people, that is the point of confronting each other and ourselves about whiteness, about white supremacy, about white violence, because there's no way to deny it. It's undeniable that white supremacy exists and is alive and thriving in this country. Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree, and his case was immediately dismissed as suicide. Second autopsy, and we're hearing a very different story, which is completely unsurprising. ICE agents walking around, shoving people to the floor, separating families, brutalizing people, brown people, vast majority of the time, without repercussions, without consequences, without even having to show their faces or their names. So, white people, when we think about the culture of white supremacy, white violence, and the history of that and how it persists today, culturally, the fact that you just exist as a white person means that you are contributing to the culture of whiteness somehow. Just like every single person on planet Earth contributes to the culture that exists in their communities. Your existence contributes to some sort of dynamics that exist in this world. You could be contributing aggressive, intense racism, using slurs, degrading people, making people's lives hard, demonizing people. You could be contributing to that culture by engaging in it. You could be fighting hard with your activism against that culture and trying to use your voice for good, trying to donate your money, your time, your energy, picking up books and reading, listening to conversations with people that don't look like you, did not grow up like you, and have insight that is really important for you to learn. Or you could be in denial and just ignoring everything. You could be afraid and avoidant. You could live your life without going anywhere near this subject matter because that's more comfortable and that's easier. But that also is contributing to a culture and a dynamic. So no matter what you're choosing to do, no matter how you exist, you are contributing to the dynamics that exist in the world in one way or the other. And the question is, how do you want to contribute? Who do you want to be? Racism and bigotry isn't just about using slurs or dehumanizing people to their face. It's about the systems that exist in this country that make some people's lives better and that benefit some people but harm others. So, white people, it's important for us to talk about white supremacy and to educate ourselves about how the systems in our country operate and the outcomes that people face as a direct result of how these systems operate. Nothing changes if nothing changes, and I hope lots of people are having these conversations. I hear it sometimes, but I don't hear it enough, and I want to be somebody that engages in these conversations. I think it's so important now more than ever for us to be using our voices and to be finding ways to connect and communicate about how our country actually runs, the reality of life for people in this country, and how do we contribute to that, and what is our responsibility. And I think we all have a responsibility to each other to make this place safer, because if what everybody says that they want is safety, but your neighbor is constantly unsafe, you are not safe. Safety is about the stability of a community. It's about how we treat each other. It's about what we offer each other. It's about generosity. It's about humanizing each other. It's about seeing the needs that people have, the very real, intense needs that people have, and deciding that it is our responsibility to meet those needs, to get people on stable ground so that all of us can experience safety and stability. Nobody will ever be able to convince me that we are going to reach a state of harmony and safety and kindness and generosity and equality in this country if we don't take accountability, address each other, confront ourselves, and decide that all of us have a responsibility to create the world that we want to live in. It isn't productive to just continue blaming generations past for all of our issues and remaining in denial about what still exists today. So, white people, let's keep talking about it. Love you.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. So I hope you've gotten to understand at why these people are calling their fellow whites to end some of the actions that have been happening, or some of the incidences that has been happening due to them not being accountable of their actions. So when you talk about the white people being accountable of their what they do, we're not calling only the white people, not only the skin tone of, like, not only the white people, but everybody who is benefiting or who is getting advantages out of them suppressing someone so as to get something that they are getting in at the moment. Like, you have to hurt someone's emotions, you have to hurt someone's feelings in order to gain something. Like, you're supposed to be accountable of what you do. Like, you don't have to suppress someone in order maybe to live at your comfort zone. That is what they're really calling out. You find out when a white turns out to be racist and other people are like, or they are questioning, like, why are you being racist, or why are you doing something, they turn out to be defensive and even claim that, why are you turning out, like, why are you turning all the situation, and it starts seeming like I'm the person who was doing wrong, but literally they're the people who are doing or who are on the wrong side. And so this part of being defensive is what has to be eliminated. Like, be accountable. If you've done something, be ready to apologize, be ready to say sorry, be ready to approach the other party and express yourself, like, and be like, literally be apologetic of something you have done and it has turned out accidentally to harm the other person. And even some other cases you find out at an institution, and somebody is doing an injustice thing maybe to another person because of their skin color or even because of their race, and you are there as a white person and you know literally what this person is doing is not right, and you can't stand out or you can't speak out and say, like, what you're doing is right and this is not supposed to be done. You just mind your own businesses and be quiet. So this is what still they're calling out, like, be accountable even at your places of work. Be accountable of some actions that even your colleagues are doing, and you know, you do deep down, like, this what person is doing is not right, but you can't stand out and say, like, you can't say, that means you're also supporting the other person. Like, why are you not correcting them? You find out even how some whites are raised. You find out that they were raised by racist mothers. Like, you're there in the dining and your mother just starts saying, like, your mother just starts picking something bad about maybe the black people in the name of she is racist. And you have to, you grow up knowing, like, you're having some information about black which is not right, and you're not ready to learn, and you're not ready to unlearn what you learned back then, and it's somehow wrong. Then that means you're not being accountable. Like, stop being so judgmental and like claiming that I was not alive. Like, even this story of the colonialism era and the slavery and whatever, people just say, some whites say, like, I wasn't alive back then. I can't change that. You can change that by being ready to learn, being ready to know the truth and unlearn something that you learned and you found out that literally it was the wrong thing. Sometimes people tend to like take accountability like a punishment, like a shame, like, I'm a white, I'm not supposed to do that, or I'm a white, I'm not supposed to call out my fellow whites when they are being racist. Like, you can change it by not taking accountability as a punishment or as a shame, like being ready to practice justice even though you don't know the person, or even though the person is not you're not from the same skin or from the same race with the person, but you're ready to portray justice to that a person. So that is what literally accountability means. And I would like to know, if you're a white, are you really ready to be accountable even of something that you have not done, being accountable of even your colleagues' actions, being accountable of even something that was done back then by your ancestors? Like, because some say that I wasn't alive and I can't evade the responsibility in cases of slavery and colonialism. Like, are you really ready to be accountable of everything that happened, even though it was out of your presence? Like, and you are in the situation right now. Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to unlearn what you learned and find out that this thing was wrong? Like, it was not the correct thing, or it's not supposed to be like that? I'd really like to know, what are your thoughts? Like, if you're a white, are you ready to be accountable of your actions? Are you ready to take accountability of everything around you? I would like to know, what are your thoughts in the comments section, because sometimes justice can help to even build something that even you wouldn't imagine of, like just portraying justice and living in the same let's say, livelihood, because justice sometimes it helps people to feel they are wanted somewhere. It makes people feel like you're not here by mistake. I would really like to know, what are your thoughts in the comment section. It's my pleasure reading your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. If you liked this video, you can consider giving it a thumbs up, and also you can just support my channel by just subscribing. It will be my pleasure. And thank you so much for watching up to this point. My name is Milka. Let's meet in the next episode. Bye.